Hey everyone, welcome to Neil's World. And in today's stream, let us discuss about uh, how to go online, or how to create your blog, or how to create a business website for a small business owners. All right. I'm not an expert in web designing or web hosting or anything like that, but I have a keen interest on doing uh, or creating websites, and mostly based on WordPress. So I would like to talk about how you can go online, register your domain, host your website in some of the cheapest yet best web hosts available. So I'll give you some suggestions where you can host your website, where you can buy the domain, etc. So if you have any queries, just put your queries on the chat box. So I would be happy to share my whatever I know with you, so that I can also suggest you, and I can also guide you if you do not have any idea about how to create your website and how to go online, or how to create your first blog. So I'll start from free methods to some paid ones. So to create a blog, actually, you need to have some kind of investment. Without doing that investment, that blog may sustain, but still, if you make some payments and if you make some investment on your blog or on your website, that will go a long way. And I hope, I don't know how many of you are watching, and if you're watching on the replays, I'll put some of the resources in the description later on. Okay, and let us start. So what is a website, or what is blogging? So we all know, we all talk about blogs and everything. So I'll talk about three websites where you can create your blogs for free. So you don't have to pay anything. You just create an account, like you create an account in on Gmail, or you create an account on Facebook. Similar to that, you can create a blog account and you can run your blog for free in some of the best websites. Uh, the number one is that you can create your blog for free in a Google website, which is called Blogger. The service is called Blogger. So you can create a blogger website, or a blogger blog on Google's free blogger platform. And the website is not actually blogger.com. The website is actually blogspot.google.com. So you can go to google.com and search for blogger, and you can easily create your first blog for free. And the catch is that you can create your blog for free with some limited function, not limited functionality. You cannot use your domain name until you purchase their paid plans. All right. There is one more website which is called the uh, wix.com. So on wix.com also, which is a template based system where you can create a blog, create a full website free of cost, but you will have a subdomain. But if you want to create a website where you have your own domain, and if you have any queries, please put your queries on the chat. I'll try to answer those. If you have any queries, please put your queries on the chat. I'll try to answer all your queries. So if you have any queries regarding domain registration, how you go about registering your domain for your website, registering your top level domain. That means, for example, if we talk about website, what you call, for example, what you're watching right now, it's youtube.com. So this youtube.com is the name which is given to an IP address. Actually, youtube.com, it's a web URL. And actually, the all websites or all blogs or whatever you see on the web actually runs on a server. That is a machine. The server has an IP address. IP address are normally two types, are of two types. One is called IP version 4, and one is called IP version 6. This IP version 4 has some numbers, like if you have a Wi-Fi router, you might have seen the router address, the IP address, suppose something like 192.168.1.100 or something like that. So similar is the IP address for all websites. Means websites run on a web server, and that web server has an IP address. It is very difficult to remember the IP address. So we, instead of remembering the IP address, what we can remember is a name, which we call a domain name. Domain names can be of two types. One is a top level domain name, like for example, youtube.com. That is the name itself is .com. So that is called a top level domain, .com. Suppose, for example, there is something called .gov. This is also a top level domain. Hello, hi, welcome. I hope you're doing fine. And if you have any queries regarding websites, or if you have any queries regarding how you can create your blog, you can just shoot your message on the chat, and I'll try to answer those, and hopefully you can create your website as well if you have not done so already. And it's very easy to create your website. You just need to have some patience and some learning. And if you already know some of the things, then you can also ask some of the suggestions about where you can host your site and where you can purchase your domain, etc. So I'll try to answer those. And WordPress it's not for smart people. Actually, you can also use WordPress. It's very easy to learn. It has a lot of functionality. Wow. You just dive into the world of WordPress, and you will start from very easy things. And if you need some guidance, I can guide you. Yes, Google Blog is fun. You can use it for free, but it's very limited. It has very limited functionality. And if you want to create your business, or if you create a website which is full-fledged, and if you want to take blogging for seriously, I would always suggest you to go with WordPress, because WordPress, you can scale the functionality to a very high level. Starting from small websites, you can create very big websites, and you can easily add different functionalities to WordPress. Unlike, you cannot add many functionalities to the Google Blog sites. Google Blog is very easy to use. It's definitely only for blogging, and it's not for a full-fledged website. Okay, you tried. Yeah, you can understand. You just have to start doing some stuff by yourself and tinker around, because you can use WordPress for free by going to wordpress.com, create your website, create your blog similar to what you do on Google Blog. And you can create your website on wordpress.com. And then the WordPress comes in two different flavors. One is called the wordpress.com, where you can have the wordpress.com blog, where you can create your website. There are some functionality limitations and all. You can pay in the wordpress.com also to get your own domain name connected, and there are different plans. But to get full control of WordPress, what you need to do, you need to have your own server, install. Yes, it's not easy to show or search. Yes, it may be. I have not used Google Blog too much because I was not impressed at the very beginning. I liked WordPress a lot. I have been using WordPress for the last around 11, 12 years. So WordPress allows you to create not only blogs, it allows you to create the full website. That is the biggest advantage. On Google Blog, you are limited to blog functionality. It can create a website, but it's not fully, an advanced level website. You can still try WordPress. You can try it for free, and you can also install WordPress on your local machine. That means on your what you call, on your local PC. You can install softwares like Apache's Jamp server, or you can install softwares like Local by Flywheel, and you can run your own web server on your own local machine. That means in your PC you can run your server, and then there you can install WordPress and learn. So there are so many tutorials on WordPress on YouTube. You can learn from A to Z. Even you can learn from starting how to install WordPress, and then how to create a page, how to create a post, etc. You can learn about everything about WordPress. It's very interesting. You can learn, and there are different books also. You can find a lot of books, ebooks also on Kindle and etc., where you can learn WordPress. So if you need some personal guidance about WordPress, you can always shoot me an email on my contact page here on YouTube. You can shoot me an email. If I can try to help you on that. If you want to learn something, I can get into a Zoom call and teach you how to do how to install WordPress and how to start your first blog. No problem. You can shoot me a message on the email ID that I provided in the contact page or the about page here in the on YouTube. Okay. And it's not difficult. It's not difficult. Once you start, you will find it very interesting, and you can start. It's like let me show you one thing. Can you see me now? I am switching over to a different space. If you can see me, just give me a message that you can see me. Yes, you can try whatever whenever time you like, but those who are interested, they can still start with WordPress, and because uh, 30% of the entire websites actually run on WordPress, so you know how popular it is. uh, how popular it is. Yes, yes. Thank you. Okay, let me talk about some of the things. Like for creating a blog or creating a website, there are two things. I was talking about free things, free hosting services. Like on Google Blog, you can create your blog. On what you call on WordPress.com, you can create your blog for free. And there is one more website. It's very on Wix also. Wix is a template based website creation software, creation service. It's a software as a service type of thing. Okay, okay, yeah. uh, uh, Wix.com, I was talking about. You can create your blog using Google Blog or Blogger or Blogspot, whatever you call it. It's a Google product. Then you have Wix.com, which is a very beautiful, which can create very beautiful looking website using simple template based or theme based website building, website creation system, which is very easy to use. You can start with free Wix website, and you can also go with some paid plans. Their plans are not too costly. You can start with very around $1 or so per month plan, where you can have your own domain connected to the Wix website. Otherwise, if you want to go with a Wix website, you have to have your subdomain. That means you cannot have a domain like yourname.com. Subdomain means you have to have a name like Wix. Yes, Wix is very beautiful, right? If you want to go with the free plan of Wix, you can have a subdomain like yourname.wix.com, not like yourname.com. So if you want something like yourname.com, you have to go with the paid plan of Wix, where you have to buy the domain and connect it to. Okay, yeah, you tried many years ago. Okay, no problem. You can still try again, because Wix is a very beautiful thing to learn, and it's not much to tinker around on Wix. Only the theming options are different. But WordPress is WordPress. It cannot compete with WordPress, Wix, or any other template-based system. And the third one is that I talked about Blogger, then WordPress.com's own website or blogging platform, which is free. You can also connect your domain, for which you have to pay some money. And then there is Wix.com, and then there is one more website which can easily help you grow as a writer. I mean, if you are serious about blogging, and if you don't want to what you call tinker around creating websites, creating your own blog, and setting it up, then you can always go with a service called medium.com. Yes, I'll just write it down on the chat. Medium.com. So medium.com. No, you're not disturbing me. If you have any queries, you can always shoot your queries. I'm enjoying chatting with you as well. No problem, no problem. You just keep you can keep asking me anything. I'll just like to answer those, because we can hang out on YouTube as well. uh, if you're serious about blogging, what you can do is you can also write your content on medium.com. It's a free service. which allow you to monetize your content. That means if your article is well enough, it has got a lot of viewers, if you got a lot of followers, you can monetize your articles. Medium.com is a very good platform because Medium.com is free to use. As a reader, you can read articles for free, but there is a catch. You have to pay a subscription if you want to read more than certain number of articles per month. So you are limited. If you are a reader, I'm not talking about what you can write. You can write unlimited articles for free, but to get monetized, you have to get to a certain level. And the other thing is that medium.com is a very highly searchable website. That means if you write some content on medium.com, it has the advantage of search engine optimization, because medium.com itself is a very highly rated website. So that will rank higher on Google, much easier than having your own website created and then writing an article on that. Medium.com, the website itself is highly ranked, and if you write an article which is SEO or search engine optimized, that means there are different keywords which are being searched over the internet on Google or on other search engine, it will rank higher, easier on medium.com than any other website, because medium.com has already ranked higher in the Google search ranking or in uh, website ranking. So medium, it is very easy to use something like Facebook or something like social media, Instagram. You just like it's like posting on Facebook. You just go to medium.com, create your account. You can add article, write articles on medium.com for free, where you can put your affiliate links also. I'll talk about affiliate marketing and other things later on. You can put your own article on medium.com, and once those articles are searchable and once those articles rank higher on searches, those articles can be monetized. Okay, so we can earn money from those articles. So you can also create articles where you can put your own product links. Like if you have a digital product, like if you have something like if you're selling something on online, so you can put the link to those products within the Medium article that you are writing on medium.com. So it's very easy to do with medium.com. You don't have to try anything like designing or creating a website or anything, something like that. So if you're into blogging and if you want your blog to be searched higher, you can try, or you can start with medium.com. There is one more way to write content on medium.com. If you already have a website and if you already have articles on a blog, you can import those blogs to medium.com as well. So medium.com also has an import feature which will allow you to, yes, you can add YouTube videos on medium.com as well. If you write article based on your YouTube video, you can put or embed the YouTube video on your Medium article. That way your YouTube videos can also get more viewers. So that way you can also push or what you call promote your YouTube videos as well. You write article on medium.com based on a topic on which you're creating a YouTube video. You can create an article, put the video, related video onto the in the article and publish on medium.com. That way you have a double benefit. You promote your own YouTube videos as well through medium.com, and medium.com, being a highly searchable website, can help you grow more. So you can do that if you have an article based on the YouTube video that you have. So you can do that, and you can put any links on medium.com. They do not have any restriction on putting links. Only the content should be there are certain restrictions on contents, what different types of contents you can post, but links, you can put anything. You can put your affiliate links. There is no restriction on putting affiliate links. You can put your own website link. You can put your what you call link to your video. You can embed your YouTube videos. Everything you can do on medium.com. It's a very easy to use software. If you are posting on Facebook and if you are writing as chat messages on YouTube, you can easily write a content on medium.com. It is as easy as that. And so these are the three websites for free where you can write your content, where you can start blogging. Blogger or Blogspot by Google, then WordPress.com, where you can create your free blog. Then you have wix.com, where you can create a beautiful website as well as a blog, and then medium.com. Okay, so and there is one more website that I would like to talk about. Many people do not know about that. It is related to cryptocurrency. Okay, now the website is called steemit.com, where you get money for the upvotes. That means, for example, on a Facebook post, if you write a content and if people hit the like button, you get likes. So you do not get any money or anything for the likes. But there is a website. Let me put it on the chat. It's Steemit.com. This is a cryptocurrency based. No problem. I'm also not a native English speaker. So I'm from India. So I am not a native English speaker. So my English is not that fluent as well. So don't worry. Just it's a bit of a kind of a communication medium. As long as we understand each other, as long as we know what we are communicating, no problem. I'm not an English speaker as well. Okay, so it's no problem. So we can also write content on steemit.com. It's a little bit at the beginning, it's a little bit trickier because steemit.com is based on cryptocurrency. It's a blockchain based blogging platform. That means whenever you write content on steemit.com, Steemit has a different a little bit of technical stuff going behind it. The crux of the thing is that if you write content on steemit.com, you can earn revenue in terms of cryptocurrency. So Steemit has their own cryptocurrency. Earlier there was um, Steem cryptocurrency. Now they are integrating with TRX or Tron. If you have heard about cryptocurrencies or tokens, digital tokens, or blockchain tokens like Tron or like Doge or like Shiba Inu, etc. So Steemit.com has integrated TRX or Tron cryptocurrency into their system. So that means whenever you get more likes or more upvotes, they call it upvotes, more upvotes on your piece of content, you earn some kind of, it's not like Google Disc or Keep. It's like it's a website where you essentially write content. Like you can post your photograph. It's like a social media. It's like Facebook. The difference is that it monetizes the content. That means you can earn some kind of cryptocurrency, or you can earn uh, some kind of cryptocurrency. It gives you some cryptocurrency which you can exchange on crypto exchanges to get it converted into what you call fiat. That means what you can convert it into your dollars, or you can convert it into your own currencies in your country. So what it does is that steemit.com, you create an account on steemit.com, you post something on steemit.com. There are ways where you go higher up in the ladder of ranking within steemit.com. It gives you some kind of ranks within the platform. So if you go on creating content on steemit.com, you earn some powers that is called steam power. So you have steam powers, you go up in the ladder, you get more followers, and if you're getting more followers, your post will be seen by more people. It is a decentralized social network. We call it decentralized social network. Okay, where you can write content which can be monetized in terms of some cryptocurrencies. It's in Facebook. If you write some content, if you have some post, you do not get anything out of it from the number of likes. But on steemit.com, you get something out of the likes. So the more people keep liking your content, the more uh, currency or more cryptocurrency you can earn through Steemit blog. Okay, so this is one of the things many people do not know. Steemit has been there. Okay, what you'll be taking out from YouTube Partner Program? I'm not yet eligible for YouTube Partner Program, but if you are already eligible for YouTube Partner Program, it's good. I'm yet to complete 1,000 subs, and I'm yet to complete 4,000 watts hours during this year. So I have a long way to go on that part on YouTube Partner Program, but I still use some of the affiliate links on the description. I don't know how many sales I have generated. I have not generated anything, I think, through YouTube. And hopefully I'll go and try to get to the partner program as I'm not thinking too much about that. I'm just enjoying about. Okay, I was, but now them taking me out. Okay, what happened actually? Have you? Is there any problem with some contents or something, strike or something like that in your content? Maybe that's why. I do not have much knowledge. If you can check the reasons behind you going out of you being taken out of this partner program, there may be some problem inside your content. You can address those issues and then try to figure out a solution. So if you can tell me the exact problem what you're facing, then I can tell you something about that. Okay, and let's continue about talking about blogging and how to create a website and all. The next thing is that these are the free things that I was talking about, free methods or free ways where you can. Okay, my pay is 4 days on holiday. Okay, okay, I do not have much idea what you are talking about regarding the hiding of pays. So I do not know what you're talking about. I just got confused about what problem you're actually facing. Okay, and let us continue with the topic of this website creation. Let us go to creating your website. There are two steps actually in creating, not exactly two steps. We'll talk about exclusively in terms of creating a website using WordPress is a content management system. Like many of us know that a website is nothing but some kind of a coding. We call it HTML or hypertext markup language. We write some codes, it gets stored in the server, and it's served to the audience, and it shows you the website or web pages, okay, which is written in the form of HTML or hypertext markup language. But if you do not know how to code in HTML, or if you do not know how to design or how to style your web page using CSS or cascading style sheets or JavaScript, etc., you can use something called the content management system like WordPress. There are different content management system like WordPress is the most popular one. That's why I am talking about WordPress, and it is also one of the easiest. Okay, okay, so you lost some of your subscribers. Don't worry, you just keep pushing your content. Be consistent. Unlike me, I have not been consistent enough on YouTube because I have some other problems to uh, be consistent. I'm trying to be consistent on time, and you'll get it. You just keep pushing your content at least twice a week. I think that is the sweet spot for new people YouTuber having less number of subscribers or less number of views. You can push contents at least 2 times a week, and on a particular time or particular day. Always try to put contents on a particular day, particular time every week. You try to do it for 4 or 5 months constantly, then you'll see what it happens, what it does to your to your YouTube channel. No problem. You'll get back all your subs. You'll get back all your subs. Just push contents regularly, consistently on particular time of the week, particular time of the day. That thing may help you grow more. Okay, so that was about YouTube growth hack. I am not a YouTube guru, but still, whatever I have learned from other people who are expert on YouTube, that I can tell you that the consistency is the main thing, and apart from that, you need to have quality content. The people should be you should make content for people that can help your audience. Okay, so try to help your audience and you will get more audience like that. Okay, And try to go to trend jacking. You can find recent trends and make videos on that, which is called trend jacking. If you find a trend and you can create a video on that, it will be highly searchable, and you'll get more viewers and subscribers like that. And okay, don't worry, it's been hard. Still, you try to make a plan. I think if you can batch shoot some 4 or 5 videos together, instead of shooting videos each time for uploading, you can shoot videos batch wise. Like you can shoot 4 or 5 videos. Okay, 4 or 5 videos. Okay, what is white 4a? So what is white 4a? I did not understand what is white 4a. Okay, if you can make it clear what is white 4a, I can tell you something about. Okay, no problem, no problem. I'll get back to my. I have time now. I can speak the whole night now. It's nighttime it's nighttime in India, so I can keep on speaking. No problem. The only problem I am facing right now is that my internet connectivity is not proper. Anytime I may get uh, disconnected to the internet, so I don't know whether the stream will continue properly or not. But still, I'll talk about those things. No problem. And yes, that is Photoshop things and all these things. That's good. If you know Photoshop, that's very nice. That's very nice. Photoshop, knowing Photoshop is a very good skill. So if you create or your thumbnails and etc. using Photoshop, it's nice. You just create a style of your thumbnails, and you can have all those things done on Photoshop itself. What I was talking about, okay, from the white paper. Okay, okay. Okay, I'll check your website channel again, and then let you know about what you can do. I'll shoot you a message on your email regarding that. I'll do a channel review, unofficial. Okay, even if I am not a big number behind me, I can still look at your channel and talk about what you can do. Okay, so what I'll get back to. Okay, I think you have used some, but YouTube mean my video is very dangerous. That means I think if you are using some things, like if you are using photos of something which are regarded as dangerous, YouTube will call it as a dangerous thing and may remove those things from your video, or they may what you call block your video as well. So we have to go check the terms and conditions of YouTube, what you can upload, what things that you can show in a video, like that. I think you cannot show a gun, you cannot show a knife, something like that on YouTube videos. So be aware of those stuff. Go and read the terms and conditions of the YouTube video, and then you can figure out what is going wrong with your videos, and you can correct those. No problem. You can always correct anything that has went wrong. Okay, now let us continue with the topic of our discussion today, regarding website. What you creating a website. I was talking about content management system. So what is a content management system? It allows you to create your content and manage it very easily. Instead of hard coding your way into creating a website, you can use content management system, something like WordPress, something like Drupal. There is one more content management system which is very popular called Joomla. So these different content management system can help you create your website much easier than doing the hard way. That means by coding, that means by writing all the lines of code. That takes a lot of time. But if you know coding, and if you learn, if you enjoy coding, or if you enjoy writing HTML codes, then you are welcome. You can use that, and you can also use softwares like Dreamweaver to hard code or create codes faster for HTML based website. But let me wear my spectacle. Okay, uh, but for me, I do not know how to code too much. I use WordPress extensively. So WordPress has the beautiful feature of allowing you to create your website, change the look and feel of the website by changing something called themes. You can add different functionalities to your website, like you can add a form, you can add a newsletter subscription module, you can add images, you can add image galleries, you can add videos using something called plugins. And you can use different plugins to help you add more functionalities to your WordPress website. Like you can create a membership page, like you can create a forum. All those facilities or all those functionalities can be added using something called plugins. So there are millions of plugins available for WordPress. There are different developers, millions of developers working on WordPress plugins and WordPress themes. WordPress themes can help you change the look and feel of your website just like that. You change the theme, you change the look and feel of your website. Okay, so we will talk about those things in my later videos. I will go deep dive into how you can create your website, install different themes, install different plugins, and then change the whole setup of your website by simply doing some installation of plugins, which is also only by putting some clicks, or only by clicks only. So it doesn't take much of a time to change or to add functionalities to website. So I'll talk about I'll prefer only WordPress based website. So the thing is that when you want to create a WordPress based blog or WordPress based website, the first thing that you will require, you can create a subdomain based website, but I don't want anyone to have this kind of a website. I just would like to prefer to have my own domain name. Like, for example, my website, which is called neilsworld.in. This is my own domain name. Like youtube.com, it's a domain name. So it's very easy to create your own identity. Like, so if you want to create, or if you want to uh, yes, I do have Twitter. Let me show you my Twitter ID on the screen. So this is my Twitter at the rate dreams at CHM. You can follow me on Twitter on this handle. I also have what you call an Instagram profile. I like to create photograph of flowers, where you can follow me on Instagram at this handle as well. So you're welcome to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, no problem. I would love to have you as my follower. Okay, and let's go on talking about domain name. Okay, so you can purchase your domain name. Domain name is the identity. That means like you have a physical address, the digital address or the web address that you have for your website is called the domain name. The first thing before going online, you should have a domain name, because there are three steps. One is you have to have a domain name. That means you must have a domain name to create your website. And then you need to have some space, server space, which we call web hosting. Third one is that you need to have WordPress and your content. The the last thing, but the most important thing, is that your content. You need to put your content on the website. That is the last thing. That all relies on you, what you write, what is your topic, what you want to do in your website. If you want to sell something, you can create a marketplace or you can create a shop. All everything you can do using what you call your what you call a WordPress website. The first thing is that you need to have a domain name. Domain names you can buy from websites like namecheap.com. So if I'll just go and share my screen. I'll go to share my screen and show you my preferred domain name register. This is called namecheap.com. So I have all my domain names. I have around 4 or 5 domain names which are hosted on a website, which are purchased from a website called namecheap.com. Okay, and this namecheap.com has, what you can do first, you can go to, it is getting slowed down because of my internet connection. You can go to the search box, put the desired domain name that you want. Suppose, for example, if you want something like name me, for example, is your website, you want something like name me, and then you go to search. So here you have a list of options available. Sometimes whatever you want may not be available for purchasing. Somebody else has already owned that domain. Then you will be offered with some other options where you can buy some domains with a different top level domain name. Like, for example, if nameme.com is not available, something other than that may be available. .com, it has already been taken by someone else and now it is for sale. It is shown as premium, so which will cost you some premium value. So make an offer, that means it has already been taken by someone. Now this is also nameme.co. This is also, it also has been taken by someone. Now it has been made for a sale. It has been offered as a sale, so it is costing at almost $2,000, but it will renew at a normal rate later on. For example, this nameme.org is now available. It is available for around $9 a month. Okay, so you can add it to your cart and go check out using the standard process of checking out, like you do on amazon.com or something like that. You go to add to your cart, then check out using your credit card or PayPal. Then you will have your domain name available under your domains. Like, for example, if I go to my dashboard, I'll show you my domain names, what we can do with different domain names. For example, I'll show you my domain name, my main domain name. Let us go to this. Let me go to my domain name. Let us find my own domain name. I have around 4 or 5 domain names registered in my name in Namecheap. I'll just show you what we can do using this Namecheap. You have these domain names, then you can do some different settings available on domain names. My internet connection is not that good, that's why I have not been able to do this. So I cannot buy this now because it is already taken. So if I search it, I cannot find it. Some other names which are very premium. So if I go to my dashboard, let me go to back, stop sharing, and I'll go back to my camera feed because the network is not that good to share my screen. It's getting slowed down. Okay, so what you can do is that you can go to namecheap.com, search your desired name for the website or your domain name. Then you can add to your cart and purchase something, like you purchase something on amazon.com or something other website. It's as simple as that. So once you have your domain name, the next thing you would like to do is to buy some hosting space. That means you need to have some server space where you will put your website, and that server will next be connected to the domain name. And once it is connected successfully, and once you have WordPress installed on your server and write down your content, your website will be accessible by your audience, and you can share it with your friends or share it on Google, and it can be searched by anyone on the internet. So as simple as that. Even though it looks tricky, when you go into the process of doing that, it's not that very tough. It's not that very uh, technical. Okay, so all things you just have to go step by step. Once purchase your domain name, then you have to connect your domain name with your hosting. So that will depend on the host or the web hosting that you are using. For example, I there are different types of hosting. There are hosting, something called, the cheapest type of hosting is called shared hosting. Shared hosting means there is a server which has been shared by different users. That means that there is a computer machine which is shared by different users. This is called shared hosting. As the name suggests, because it is shared by different people, the cost is very low, but at the same time the performance may not be very good. You may have some uptime problem. Then what is uptime? For example, suppose in a month, 30 days, if your website is up and running for 29 days, that means your, out of 30 days, 29 days is your uptime. Or it can be some kind of a percentage of uptime. Out of 30, 29, it can be some. Okay, stay home. I didn't understand what do you mean about by this comment, stay home. And uptime. Okay, so shared hosting may have some uptime issues, may have some resource issues, because resources on a server is shared between different users, different clients. So shared hosting is, even though the cheapest one, may have some problems. But as a beginner, you can always start with shared hosting, because shared hosting will cost you very less. You can start in websites, websites like hostinger.com, or websites like greengeeks.com, where you can buy or purchase, or websites like namehero.com. These are the three websites that I can suggest to you to go get started with shared hosting. So in shared hosting, you will get a space which is shared between different users, but you won't feel that it is shared. In the backend of the server, or in the backend of the hosting, it is shared, but you will be given a dashboard, you will be given a website management board. Normally all shared hostings comes with something called cPanel, which is a control panel which will allow you to create your website, install WordPress. Nowadays, installing WordPress is easier. Earlier, you have to install WordPress manually, where you will require some technical know-how. But now, WordPress can be installed, or in some of the hosting, the WordPress comes pre-installed. That means you have a ready WordPress website as soon as you have bought your shared hosting or your hosting space, right? So shared hosting is the first type of hosting that you can go. It is cheaper. At the same time, it may have some performance issues. For beginner websites, for very small websites, you can always go with shared hosting. And if you need some more reliability, the next thing you can do is that you can purchase a VPS. What is VPS? It is short for virtual private server. That means in a physical machine, there are different virtual machines created, and you are given a dedicated virtual machine for your server. That means your resources are, even though it is made as a virtual machine, are not shared between other users. That means you get a dedicated IP address for your website. In shared hosting, you get some shared IP address, which that IP address is normally dynamic. Your IP address of your website will be shared by different other clients as well. Okay, so this is a little bit technical thing, but you don't have to worry too much. And all the hosting control panel will guide you how to set it up properly. So you don't have to worry too much about the backend of how it goes within a shared hosting. The next is VPS hosting. There comes some kind of technical things. So VPS hosting can be of two types. Uh, instead, before going to the types of VPS hosting, let me talk about the other type of hosting. The one is called dedicated hosting. What is dedicated hosting? Dedicated hosting means you will be given one dedicated machine for your hosting space. That will cost you a lot of money. I mean, the cost will go up as you go from shared hosting to VPS, then dedicated hosting. Okay, and all these hosting plans also have different other functionalities based on which the prices changes. So if you want the cheapest shared hosting price as of now, you can go with hostinger.com. I'll put the link in the description after this stream is over. By next day or by tomorrow, if you come back and check the stream, or if you're watching the replay, I'll put the links to all my preferred hosting uh, providers: shared hosting, and then VPS hosting, and then dedicated hosting. I do not use a dedicated hosting, I use a VPS hosting. I'll talk about that later on. And the thing is that the next is dedicated hosting. Okay, the VPS hosting is of two types. One is normal VPS hosting, and the other one is managed VPS hosting. For WordPress, you get a lot of hosting providers which will give you managed WordPress hosting service. That means you have a VPS where WordPress will be installed and managed by the hosting company. That means you don't have to tinker around the backend of the server. That means in VPS, what you get actually is a computer. You have to install the server platform itself. Suppose you have a computer, you get the space in the computer only. You have to install the operating system, you have to install the WordPress and everything on VPS. So it becomes a bit of a technical thing if you go with VPS. But if you go with managed VPS, some of the things has been taken care of already. You need to only go click some things which are very intuitive. If you want to go into managed hosting, those are very step by step things are there within the control panel. And then you have to connect with your domain. Some of the VPS hosts also provide you the facility to purchase domain names. So if you purchase domain names and the server space from the same company, those domain names and the server will be automatically connected. But if you buy or purchase your domain from somebody else, and if you purchase your web hosting space from somebody else, you have to connect the domain with your web hosting. That is not a too tricky part, but still it is a step before you go online or before your website is up and running for the audience to see. So these are the things. First, you need to buy a domain, then you have to buy a hosting space. The third step is to, if it is managed WordPress hosting, then WordPress might be installed automatically. But if it is not installed, you have to install your copy of WordPress. So once that is installed, your website is running, up and running. So you can do that. So the services that I suppose that I recommend, for domain, I personally use namecheap.com because it gives you very cheap options to buy what you call a domain name. And the trick is that you can use some Chrome extension, like a Chrome extension which will fetch you some coupon code for discounts. So if you want to purchase your domain name, you can use coupon code discount on top of the discount that is already available on namecheap.com by using a coupon code finder, automatic coupon code finder extension like Honey. You can find Honey by going to joinhoney.com and use the extension on with your Chrome or Google Edge or Microsoft Edge browser. There is one more extension called Coopert. So these two extensions, if you use, they will try to find out discount coupons automatically, which will give you some discount on purchase of your domain name on Namecheap. Or also it can also find you these two extensions can also find you discount coupons from other domain name registrar as well. Like godaddy.com, you can go to godaddy.com. There is one more domain name registrar called domain.com. There are different registrars for domain where you can purchase your domain. I personally prefer Namecheap because it is the largest domain registrar in the world, and then it offers some of the features which are actually paid features in some other registrar, like for example privacy protection. So all the domain names comes with privacy protection free of cost. You also get some premium domain features, premium DNS features in Namecheap, which is cheaper than other premium domain name service provider elsewhere. Okay, so you can do that. Purchase your domain on Namecheap. So, and the next is that hosting. Hostinger is the cheapest one. I do not use Hostinger myself, but it is the cheapest one that you can get for shared hosting, and which is a reliable one. There are some other companies which make even cheaper plans, but I am not um, suggesting or recommending anyone to go with the super cheap hosting providers. So there are many hosting providers where you may find it easy to go online or easy to purchase and get your website up and running, but later on if there are certain problems arise, their support system is not that good. Hostinger has a support system which is only email based, not phone based or chat based only, I think. So you have to also check the support service of the hosting companies, because once you have your website running, you may run into some problems where you may have to call the support guys of the web hosting to get it sorted out. So you also have to check the support system. The second shared hosting service that I recommend, that also they also have a VPS service and other dedicated service as well, but for shared hosting, the other thing is other hosting provider that I recommend is called the greengeeks.com. So you can also purchase your hosting space from greengeeks.com. This is a very good hosting, and good and reliable. Their uptime is very good. They are very good on uh, environment as well, because they use renewable energy to run their servers. They use wind energy, I think. Greengeeks.com, they have, because it's their name itself is Green Geeks. They run on green energy, so they use renewable energy to run their servers. And and there is one more hosting company called Name Hero. Name Hero is a little bit lesser known name, but still their services are very good. I personally have used services from Name Hero. Uh, the one thing that you need to keep in mind is that if you go purchase some web hosting space on the shared hosting providers, what happens is that you get a very good deal for the first invoice itself. Suppose the web hosting deals, if you buy for 1 year, you can buy for 2 years, you can buy for 3 years, you can buy up to 4 or 5 years. So the first invoice, that means the first order that you place, will give you a lot of discount, but later on you will have to renew it annually, or you can renew it uh, periodically. The renewal fees will be higher. So before purchasing the hosting space, please look at the terms and conditions of the renewal, because you might have purchased it for $1 a month plan, but after 1 year you may find that you have to pay a lot more for renewal. So in that time you may get it, it may be difficult for you to pay those renewal fees sometimes. So before purchasing a hosting space, always try to figure out the renewal fees beforehand, so that you don't get a shock later on when the renewal time comes. So this is one thing that you should keep in mind while purchasing shared hosting or any hosting space. The next thing is that I'll talk about VPS. VPS or managed VPS hosting are very good in terms of performance to price ratio. I use a VPS hosting myself called, there are different VPS hosting. Like you can use hosting from Google Cloud, You can use hosting from Amazon AWS. You can use hosting from Vultr, VULTR. You can use hosting from DigitalOcean. You can use hosting from Linode. So these are some of the players on VPS hosting. The thing is that if you go directly into their websites, like if you go to digitalocean.com, if you go to vulture.com, if you go to Linode, if you go to Google Cloud, or if you go to Amazon AWS, what happens is that you can get better deals in terms of pricing, but it also requires you to have some technical knowledge to set your server up and running. So if you do not want to get your hands dirty, or if you do not want to tinker with your server, if you do not have those technical knowledge, what you can do is that you can go with something called managed server or managed hosting. For example, I use a service called Cloudways, cloudways.com. Let me share my screen with Cloudways. Let me find where is Cloudways. Okay, so this is Cloudways. So this Cloudways is a managed hosting provider. So it gives you hosting fee. For example, if you go to features, so it says it has speed and performance, simple and easy to use. You don't have to tinker around the server too much because it is simply click based system. You just go click on different process and you have your server up and running. So what it supports WordPress, Magento, PHP and Drupal. Okay, and the server types, you can have DigitalOcean. This is the symbol for DigitalOcean. You can have AWS, Amazon AWS. You can have Vultr. You can have Google Cloud, and you can have Linode. So these are the different services that it supports. That means you have servers on DigitalOcean, you have servers on AWS, you have server on Vultr, you have server on Google Cloud, you have server on Linode. Those servers will be managed by Cloudways. The pricing will be a bit higher than what you get by going directly into those servers, like DigitalOcean service, like AWS, or like Vultr. If you directly go into their websites, whatever price you are getting, you will get it in a higher cost in Cloudways. But the advantage is that you don't have to tinker around setting up your server. It will be all set up automatically, and you will have a support system which can help you tinker, or which can help you sort out any problems that arises during the service period. That means whenever you have your website running, when you have your server running, if you have any problems, if you encounter any problem, they will sort it out. They have a very good support service. Unlike if you have your server running up and running by yourself on these platforms, DigitalOcean, AWS, Vultr, Google Cloud or Linode, you will not get service from anyone. So you have to find all the solutions to your problems by yourself. Now let us talk about the pricing. Before actually going to buy any plan here, you can run it for 3 days. You can try it for free 3 days, free of cost. Start free. Here you can see start free. That free is that you can try your server for 3 days. If you go to start free, what happens is that you can go to a sign up form. You put your name, email ID, etc. It's a regular sign up form like you do in any of the websites. So you sign up and you get your server space. You can run it for 3 days for free. You can get any server, like you can get from Google, you can get from what you call, let me close this coupon code system. Now it is taking a longer time because my website or my connection is not proper. My connection is not proper. That's why it is not loading properly. It's not loading properly. There is some problem with my connection. That's why it is not loading properly. Let me see. Okay, now it is loading. So what happens is that when you can put your name, last name, etc., etc., etc. So these things you can put, and you can start here. And if you have any promotional code, you can put here in got a promo code. I think you have different promo codes. You can find it on the internet, different promotional codes, and you can put here, and you get a promotion. You can get a discount if you go and upgrade to a paid plan after three days. So it will run free for 3 days. You don't have to put your credit card information to start or to try this out. So if you're satisfied, you can go ahead and buy their paid plans. What I personally suggest, or what I personally uh, recommend, if you are a beginner, if you want to have your blog running up and running on Cloudways platform, what you can do is you can go with the Cloudways Vulture high frequency server. So if you if you go and sign up on Cloudways, you will find different server systems like Google, Vulture, Linode, etc. You can select Vulture high frequency. That will be the most cost effective and fast server. So it will be around $10 a month per month, $10 or $12 per month. But at that price, you get VPS, and that is also managed VPS, and at the same time, you'll get a high quality support system. So you can purchase hosting from Cloudways. And if you do not want to shell out $10 a month, you can always go to services like Hostinger or Green Geeks and get a shared hosting service. So these are the things, these are the platforms where you can get your website up and running. Okay, and all those servers will support WordPress hosting. So in my next stream or in my next video, I'll talk about how you can set up your website. I'll create a series of videos where I'll show you how to purchase your domain name, how to set up your server, how to set up your website, and how to create your first blog using WordPress. So until my next video, I'll say bye now. It's been 1 hour. Thank you very much for being on my stream, everyone who are watching, and thank you for everyone who will be watching the replays. And if you have any queries, if you want some suggestions, I have given some suggestions regarding servers, regarding domain names, and if you need some other suggestions, or if you need some any recommendation, you can please put your queries on the chat as well. I'll try to answer all my chats in due course. Okay, if you were watching the replay, please do comment on what you think about what is your favorite server, or what is your favorite theme for WordPress as well. So let us keep rolling this discussion in the chat. It's also, so later on also, you put your queries on chat, and I'll try to answer or each of your comments in the chat. So thank you very much. Please subscribe if you have not already done so to my channel. I'll see you in my next video very soon.